welcome to another Cozy Book Nook. Last week we had The Other Side of Midnight by Simone St. James, and I liked it. It was a good book. It really was a good book. Alrighty, so basic plot. Scene, London, 1925. After World War I, starts off with our main character, Ellie Winters. Ellie Winters is in the middle of a reading with a Mr. Baker. Ellie's getting annoyed because she knows Mr. Baker is lying. There's no brooch that he's looking for. And she knows that that's not even his real name. She calls him out on it. He leaves for a little bit, comes back. He's like, my name is George Sutter. My sister was Gloria. Gloria is dead, and I need your help with her killer. Gloria Sutter was the only other true psychic that is known about in this story that is alive, technically. And she used to be friends with Ellie, but then became enemies. Frenemies! Ellie initially wants nothing to do with it, but the more she thinks about it, she's like, the more she has to find Gloria's murderer. Unfortunately for Ellie, while she's investigating, she takes the job from Mr. Sutter. James Holly? I don't even know how to pronounce the name. James, a fairly gorgeous man that she knew from her past because he worked for an organization that basically debunked psychics. He had been the person to debunk both Ellie herself and her mother. So she wasn't a huge fan of this guy. He decides to tag along and help with the murder case. And basically they end up going around looking for Gloria's murderer, getting to know each other more, and of course falling in love. And while they're looking for Gloria's murderer, Ellie becomes target herself. She almost gets caught by the murderer when she goes to visit another no-name psychic, but luckily the ghost of that psychic told her, hey, run, bitch. She got to see a look of him, so basically she's like, hey, I'm gonna lure this guy out. And she ends up luring the killer out to where Gloria was killed. And in a final showdown, you find out that it was Colin Sutter, Gloria's brother, who was believed to have died in the war. He turned traitor because a girl he had fallen in love with was executed by his government, and he became a gun for hire. He had been the one doing all these bombings and whatnot, and yeah, so there was lots of other stuff, but that was the general plot, and it was amazing. Alright, so to make it a little easier on you guys to understand why I'm doing my rating systems the way I'm doing them, I have 10 piece checklist that I go through. 1. Plot movement. 2. Entertainment factor. 3. Plot strength. 4. Characters. 4 and 5 go together. 5. Character development. 6. Writing style. 7. Attention to detail. 8. Ending. 9. Did it make you think? And 10. Relevance. Has to hit certain marks to get a certain number of points. Yada yada yada. You get it. So, plot movement. I liked it. It went at a good pace. It wasn't too fast. It wasn't too slow. Gave you time to ingest the facts. It could have been a little more descriptive, because I personally have never been down Piccadilly Lane, so I don't know anything about it. Entertainment factor. It was entertaining, yeah. I ended up reading it in one night because I wanted to find out what happened. Plus, the dynamics between Ellie and James was kind of humorous. Plot strength. It was not easy to figure out. I actually didn't end up figuring out the plot. Surprised the hell out of me. At first I was thinking it was James, but then I had to write that off, and then I was thinking it was George, Gloria's other brother, because she was an embarrassment to the family and himself, but I wrote that off, and then, hey, lo and behold, hey, it's the guy who was supposed to be dead all this time. It was kind of like, right across the face. Characters seemed like they could be real. It was a little lovey-dovey, but no. James actually felt like he was an ex-soldier, that he was an ex-alcoholic. Ellie was like still the naive little girl, kind of, but like you could see her growing up as she went along. Even Gloria, she was like this flamboyant thing, but you could see when you found out the pain, the story behind her, you can see how she reacted to the pain and everything, and why she acted the way she did. So that was nice. The writing style was decent. It wasn't very, like I said, it could have been more descriptive, but it flowed nicely. And it wasn't one of those books that I would have to put down immediately. So, the attention to detail, like I said, it could have been more descriptive, but I personally don't like drowning in adverbs, so I liked it. The ending, all the loose ends came together, all the questions were answered, it was a happily ever after, and I enjoyed it. No social commentary, no personal message. I actually already threw the book at my mother and told her to read it because it was pretty good. But yeah, it was all in all a decent book. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10. It was solid. It was good. It was a little short. Oh, the book's right in front of me. It was a nice afternoon read. I enjoyed it. Our next book is going to be Watson's Apology by Beryl Bainbridge. Looks like it's an older book. My loving mother picked this up at a book fair. 222 pages. It's not in chapters, it's in parts, and there's 5 parts. The novel is based on a true murder case that took place in Victorian London. What is up with my London picks lately? In which a seemingly virtuous clergyman, J.S. Watson, bludgeoned his wife to death on their return from church. The strange circumstances of the case have led Miss Bainbridge to perhaps her most deliciously wicked and dazzling novel to date. Devastating portrait of a marriage. Watson's Apology is a tour de force. Next week, Beryl Bainbridge, Watson's Apology. Gonna end the video here. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And remember guys, stay shiny. Keep an eye out for the next video. Ciao!